There comes a moment in every man's life when silence becomes more powerful than presence. When walking away speaks louder than staying. When not explaining yourself becomes the ultimate act of strength. This was Itachi Uchiha's way. Have you ever wondered why Itachi never needed to shout? Why his silence could shake an entire village? Why even his enemies feared the things he didn't say? It's because Itachi mastered what most people fear: becoming unavailable. He chose exile over attention, silence over chaos, and in doing so, he became something terrifying: a mystery. Most people live like open wounds. Every word touches them. Every opinion stabs. They're puppets of other people's emotions. They react. They explain. They try to be understood. But Itachi chose silence. He wasn't cold. He was precise. Carl Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming whole, not through approval, but by standing alone in your truth. And Itachi stood, completely alone. When you stop answering every call, they'll say you're arrogant. When you stop justifying your silence, they'll say you're cold. When you say no without guilt, they'll say you've changed. But that's not because you became worse. It's because you stopped being functional to their manipulation. People never loved Itachi for who he was. They feared him, respected him, misunderstood him. Because he refused to play the emotional games of the world. You must do the same. Jung believed the psyche runs on energy, psychic energy. And every unnecessary reaction is a leak. Every time you defend yourself when it's not needed. Every time you explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding, you bleed energy. Itachi never wasted his. He knew the world drains those who are always emotionally available. And if you're constantly drained, you become vulnerable, not just physically, but spiritually. Silence is not the absence of noise. It's a presence of power. It disrupts people who live by control. The manipulator panics when you don't react. The narcissist spirals when their words bounce off your stillness. The world becomes uncomfortable when you stop entertaining it. Itachi didn't speak unless it mattered, and that made every word lethal. You don't need to fight louder. You need to withdraw smarter. At first, they'll say you're heartless, that you're distant, that you've changed. But that's the price of choosing freedom over familiarity. Because when you withdraw, when you become unavailable, the people who depended on your emotional chaos are forced to face their own. That's why they lash out, not because you hurt them, but because you stopped healing them for free. Itachi's story teaches one brutal truth. Not everyone is meant to understand you. And the more you explain yourself, the more power you give away. Your silence is not weakness. It's a declaration of evolution. Because the person you are becoming is no longer seeking to be liked. He is seeking to be complete. Jung said, "We do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Itachi lived in the shadow, but not as a victim. He chose the shadow to protect the light in others. You too must learn to walk alone, to embrace your silence, to stop being a character in everyone else's story, and start becoming the author of your own. So I ask you, how long will you keep giving away your peace in exchange for approval? How long will you let others write your narrative with their expectations, their needs, their fears? Maybe it's time to withdraw, to reclaim your energy, to become untouchable, just like Itachi. If you've felt the weight of the world's expectations and you're ready to reclaim your energy, comment, "I choose my peace," and subscribe for more Itachi-style psychological mastery. Your next chapter begins in silence.